Hello MLC friends, this is Chef Umberto. I'm preparing the chicken piccata with vegetables and pasta today. I'm starting preparing first the chicken piccata sauce. It's a lemon and caper sauce. So starting first to saute a little bit the capers. So I just put first to melt the butter and the olive oil. Also remember that I have attached the recipe with instructions for the sauce, for the pasta, and to assemble the meals together. So we have about a few minutes that the butter melts a little bit. I always suggest to cook in a low medium heat, not too high. Okay, while we're waiting for the butter to be melted, I have a capers over here. Normally capers, they come in jars like that. They are very salty, so I soak them in water before so we can remove all the saltiness of the capers. So the weight that you will have on the recipe is a drain weight. Capers is a very common ingredient to use in Italian and Mediterranean recipes. In this case, it's perfect for the piccata with the pasta vegetables. Very light sauce, great for spring and summer. Okay, so now we're gonna put the capers. So and at the same time, we're also gonna put chopped garlic. You can use a whole garlic and you can press it. I have a garlic already chopped, comes in this large format because we use it for large production. I put garlic a little bit later on the capers so we don't want to burn the garlic. Saute for a minute or two, give a nice aroma, not a fragrance to the dish. But we don't want to burn the garlic to get bitter. Okay, while we're waiting that the capers and garlic comes together, cooking for a little bit, I will add now the lemon juice. I prefer a fresh lemon juice. In stores you can find the lemons and you can squeeze them. I would not suggest to buy lemon juice in bottles. It's a very acidic concentrate. I prefer it. That's what I use. I use the fresh lemon juice. And then white wine. I use a Chardonnay, but you can use a Chablis or any cooking wine. Again, just a couple of minutes, it cooks together. We're gonna speed up a little bit the process because I'm sure I don't have too much time. So we do a little bit of salt and pepper, ground black pepper. I use always a sea salt. If you prefer, you can use a kosher salt. Again, always taste. I have a tendency not cooking with too much salt personally, but and I also use unsalted butter for that reason. Now we're gonna add chicken broth. I bought this organic free-range chicken broth from the local grocery store. This happened to be from Ralph's. You can make your own chicken broth if you want, but personally it's better to buy it. It's much easier. Okay, with all this combined, we'll bring this to boil. So it's gonna take a few minutes. Okay, we are back. I was just waiting for a few minutes to bring the sauce to boil. So now I'm going to put the fresh Italian parsley that chopped, bring a good flavor at the end. And here I prepared a mix of water with a cornstarch just as a thickener for sauces and soups. You can use any other form of a thickener if you want. You can do the classic, the butter and flour if you want to do that way. But I use this a lot in a food production, so it's a very common item to use. So, and it works better when this specific starch works better when it's hot boiling broth or sauce. So I will just pour a little bit and then stir it until reaches the desired thickness of the sauce. I suggest to put a little bit at a time, because if you put all of it inside, it will be probably too thick, like a paste. So perhaps if you come closer, you can take a look at the thickness of the sauce. We are almost there, so we have a little bit left over the starch. I will put a little more. And again, bring the flame too high, so we want to bring to a boiling. And usually it takes always a minute or two that the starch starts working. Really great flavor. As I mentioned before, it's great, very light Mediterranean sauce, perfect for the spring and summer meal. I use a rotini pasta, which I will show you later, which is a classic corkscrew Italian pasta, but you can use orzo if you prefer, or rice cauliflower, since we're mixing also vegetables and chicken as well. Or any other grains that you prefer, you can use with that. Still a little more of starch. Okay, the sauce is done. So you can see there is nice thickness of the sauce. Again, it's not too brothier and it's not too thick. Just the right consistency. Okay, again, you'll be mixing with the vegetables and chicken. Okay, we are done with that.